She's that way sometimes. You can boss her. You gotta watch her. She's that real boss.
I'll do that later. Now, who am I supposed to do?
Oh yeah, look at it.
I like this camera because nobody can get away from it.
I know it. They're gonna do it. We don't leave it.
Pick our dirty dishes up your blouse. Every little bit helps. Take that camera away from me.
Some good ones. One thing I like about this, it works good.
It looks like it's a good one there. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put some tables away here. So
Okay, you need any help? Did they do it, Dick?
They kick the field goal.
And she takes thing on television.
But they gotta, yeah, the
Well, there's
field goal
one
is
called
gonna
One
win.
Step, and take that needle and put the end of his finger and he's,
You remember Bob Rinsford?
Somebody came up with it.
Gene Cabin, you remember Gene Cabin?
Hart. The retirement, as you well know. One of the musical numbers she performed was my favorite things from the legendary movie Sound of Music. However, the lyrics of the song were deliberately changed for the entertainment of her blue hair audience. Here are the lyrics she recited. Insane. Maylocks and nose drops, and needles for knitting, walkers and handrails, and new dental fittings, bundles of magazine, tied-ups and strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cadillacs and cataracts, and hearing aids and glasses, Polident and Fixodent, and false teeth in glasses. Pacemakers, golf carts, and porches with swings. These are a few of my favorite things. When the pipes leak, when the bones creak, when the knees go bad, I simply remember my favorite things. And then I don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
Hot tea and crumpets, corn pads for bunions, no spicy hot food or food cooked with onions, bathrobes and heat pads, and hot meals they bring. These are a few of my favorite things.
I just like my jammy.
Back pains confuse brains, no fear of sinning, thin bones and fractures, and hair that is thinning. And we don't mention our short, shrunken frames when we remember our favorite things. When the joints ache, when the hips break, when the eyes grow dim, then I remember the great life I've had, and then I don't feel so bad. Julie Andrews received a standing ovation from the crowd that lasted over 4 minutes. And we beat the on the floor. Kind of neat, isn't it?
All right. That's right.
I wanted to read
here's
that.
another one, Dick, one you look over
Okay.
sometime. You can
Okay.
just read it over.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I got one other one here that wanted to read that could be for all of us, because we lost some members of our class, and this is called The Dash. It said, I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that the first came the date of her birth, and he spoke of the following date with tears, and he said what mattered most was was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time she spent alive on earth, and now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. And there are things you'd like to change, for you never know how much time is left. You could be at dash and mid-range. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and to love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect, and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy's being read, with your life's action to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about you and how you spent your dash? That's all right.
Very thoughtful.
Anyway, thanks for thinking about it. I'm happy to be here, but anyway, there was one Dick had here.
You better watch out before you read it.
Let's see, where did I put it?
It's kind of a history lesson type.
Yeah, it's a history
Okay, let's
lesson.
Look,
It's
here.
about Iraq.
I
If
got
you
one.
haven't read it, you need to read it.
Okay.
In other words, read it.
Somebody else, you want to read it? Why don't you read it?
No,
Dick?
no, no. I don't. You don't need to read it. I don't know how to read.
Oh, I don't read it out loud?
Where did they go to? Wasn't there?
Well, I had.
There was 3 pages.
Let Archie read it.
Yeah.
Archie, you
This
read
here,
it.
this here, just read it.
That's something that,
Three pages of, right here. Just these 3 pages.
Should I read it out loud?
That's a.
well, you can
know?
try.
Okay.
What does it say? Very interesting.
Very
Do you
interesting.
know?
Did you know? The Garden of Eden was in Iraq. It sure doesn't look much like paradise on earth today, thanks to Saddam. Okay. Number 2. Mesopotamia, which is now Iraq, was the cradle of civilization. And did you know Noah built the ark in Iraq? That's interesting. I didn't know that. The Tower of Babel was in Iraq. Abraham was from Ur, which is in southern Iraq. Isaac's wife Rebekah is from Nabor, which is in Iraq. I didn't know all this. Jacob met Rachel in Iraq. That's pretty cool. Jonah preached in Nineveh, which is in Iraq. I didn't know that either. Assyria, which is in Iraq, conquered the 10 tribes of Israel. Amos cried out in Iraq. Babylon, which is in Iraq, destroyed Jerusalem. Babylon was, we know that was right in the heart of Iraq, wasn't it? They're digging up some right now.
Yeah.
Daniel was in the lion's den in Iraq. The 3 Hebrew children were in the fire in Iraq. That's good news to know that Jesus has been to Iraq too, as the 4th person in the fiery furnace. Belshazzar, the king of Babylon, saw the writing on the wall in Iraq. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, carried the Jews captive into Iraq. Ezekiel preached in Iraq. The wise men were from Iraq. Where are the wise men today?
In the White House.
Yeah. Peter preached in Iraq. The empire of man described in Revelation is called Babylon, which was a city in Iraq. And you probably have seen this one. Israel is the nation most often mentioned in the Bible. Did you know which nation is second? It is Iraq. However, that is not the name that is used in the Bible. The names used in the Bible are Babylon, land of Shinar, and Mesopotamia. The word Mesopotamia means between the two rivers, more exactly between the Tigris and the Euphrates River. Remember that from Bible classes. The name Iraq means country with deep roots. Indeed, Iraq is a country with deep roots and is a very significant country in the Bible. Here's why. Eden was in Iraq, mentioned in Genesis. Adam and Eve were created in Iraq, mentioned in Genesis. Satan made his first recorded appearance in Iraq, Genesis 3. Nimrod established Babylon, and the Tower of Babel was built in Iraq. The confusion of the languages took place in Iraq, mentioned in Genesis 11. Abraham came from a city in Iraq. Isaac's bride came from Iraq, and Jacob spent 20 years in Iraq. The first world empire was Iraq. The greatest revival in history was in a city in Iraq. The events of the book of Esther took place in Iraq, mentioned in Esther. The book of Nahum was a prophecy against a city in Iraq. That's in the book of Nahum. The book of Revelation had prophecies against Babylon, which was the old name for the nation of Iraq. No other nation except Israel has more history and prophecy associated in it than Iraq. Wow.
Isn't that ironic? I just didn't believe
I gotta wonder about the lion's den on Iraq.
Well,
After you see all this Iraq, where do the lions come from?
Saddam has them all over the place.
They're lucky to have scorpions there. The lions, I don't know.
Well, can I read another
Yes.
Bible one here? I got two more, and then I'll shut
Then I got a little thing I want,
Okay.
have a volunteer to try.
Well, let's see. This one is a new pastor was visiting in the homes of his parishioners.
I'm sorry.
One house, it seemed obvious that someone was. He found that the card had been returned. Added to it was the cryptic message, Genesis 3:10. Reaching for his Bible to check out the citation, he broke up in gales of laughter. Revelation 3:20 begins, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock." And Genesis 3:10 reads, "I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid, for I was naked." We're the clean ones. They still are a cheerful heart to remember. Proverbs 17:22. I thought that was pretty cute.
That's cute.
Anyway, this is a woman's dream, and then read yours. A man was sick and tired of going to work every day while his wife stayed home. He wanted her to see what he went through, so he prayed. "Dear Lord, I go to work every day, and I put in 8 hours while my wife merely stays at home. I want her to know what I go through, so please allow her body to switch with mine for a day. Amen." God, in his infinite wisdom, granted the man his wish. The next morning, sure enough, the man awoke as a woman. He arose, cooked breakfast for his mate, awakened the kids, set out their school clothes, fed them breakfast, packed their lunches, drove them to school, came home and picked up the dry cleaning, took it to the cleaners, and stopped at the bank to make a deposit. Went to the grocery and went shopping, then drove home to put away the groceries, paid all the bills, and balanced the checkbook. He cleaned the cat litter box and bathed the dog. Then it was already 1 p.m., and he hurried to make the beds, do the laundry, vacuum, dust, and sweep, mop the kitchen floor, ran to the school to pick up the kids, and got into an argument with them on the way home. So set out the cookies and milk, got the kids organized to do their homework, then set up the ironing board and watched TV while he did the ironing. At 4:30 he began peeling potatoes and washing vegetables for the salad. breaded the pork chops, snapped fresh beans and for supper. After supper, he cleaned the kitchen, ran the dishwasher, folded the laundry, bathed the kids, and put them to bed. At 9 p.m., he was exhausted. And though his daily chores weren't finished, he went to bed where he was expected to make love, which he managed to get through without complaint. Now, the next morning he awoke and he immediately knelt down by his bed and said, "Lord, I don't know what I was thinking. I was so wrong to envy my wife's being able to stay home all day. Please, oh please, let us trade back." The Lord, in his infinite wisdom, replied, "My son, I feel you have learned your lesson, and I will be happy to change things back to the way they were. You'll just have to wait 9 months, though. You got pregnant."
Great. That was great.
You thought it would be real religious. Anyway, that's pretty good. Well, that's all I brought with me.
Like this. Okay? Now with this hand here,
I can't do that.
you take this hand and you draw a number 6.
Oh.
No, you gotta go around it. You go with this way. Now
You're
make
doing something weird.
no, make a 6. Make a 6. You can't do it. Have you tried this?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Okay, go ahead now.
I didn't realize.
I got it.
I didn't know I was famous until Friday. I'm famous. Wendell Carpenter, you remember him? You remember Wendell Carpenter?
Right.
Well, for some reason, he told his...
I did.
I saw his daughter over at Bon Law Friday, and I was talking to her. She said, "Well, who are you?" I said, "Well, I'm Dick Kleinman." "Oh," she said, "yeah, you're a famous climber." I said, "Famous for what?"
She wrote it
I
down.
said, "I don't know, my dad talks about you all the time." He says, "You're a famous climber." Whoa!
She didn't say what he talks about.
No, he-
That out.
I didn't think he knew me that well. Oh my goodness, what a deal.
Bring up some of those.
So I'm going to have to go, he's over in a nursing home, him and his wife are in it, so I'm going to have to go over and talk to him. Find out what I'm so famous for.
There you go.
I didn't know what it was.
Maybe Owen Bunny.
What?
Maybe Owen Bunny.
Yeah, no. Where's the OG No, he used to live right next door to Mary Kay. Mary Kay, remember all that?
Okay, human on sidewalk.
Yeah, and he used to live right next door.
I was gonna see if you wanted to grab
Wendell Carpenter.
that one. Keep going.
And Bob and I, we spent a lot of time over at Mary Kay.
Do you see them, Margaret?
I think Charlie got mad at us because we ate all the food out of the refrigerator. He was always going to the store and buying food. Bob ate it all.
Good Bob.
Oh, did what?
What a slug.
So maybe that's where he's coming from. He was over there eating all Charlie Human's food all the time.
What was Mary Kay's husband's name?
I don't.
You remember that?
Cecil.
Mary Kay's husband that took medical training in Guadalajara?
Cecil Christensen.
Christian. Cecil Christian. We couldn't think of his name. So, Mary Kay Human Christensen is her life.
Yeah, he still lives there in Houston.
And what was the girlfriend that what was her name that Charlie Chambers was with when he got
Oh, I don't remember that.
She worked in our
Was she in
office
our
at the telephone company.
class? She wasn't in our
No, she was I don't know where he met her. I think he might have met her at the university. His girlfriend?
The one that was in the car accident?
Yeah, I think he met her at the university.
She didn't get killed, though, did she?
No,
She didn't get hurt, did she?
I don't think so.
This one's not.
Is that her in that
No,
picture?
this isn't clean.
No, it's not.
Black Panther over the eye?
That was Merlene.
It's your eyes.
The Black Panther over her eye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How come you had that patch over your eye, Marlene?
I don't know. I
Did you see that?
couldn't see where, when.
Huh? Did you see that
They got
picture?
him to the hospital.
It was over there.
Raleigh, but he had his spleen was punctured. And they didn't know it then, and he bled to death, I guess.
I think he also my investigation at the time, what I had heard, it sounded like he had tension pneumothorax, meaning he had probably a fractured rib and one of them punctured the pleura that goes to the lung, and then the air leaked outside of the lung between the lung and the chest wall. When that happens, air expands and the chest, the lung collapses because there's air in between. It keeps the lung from expanding. So I think he had two things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember the spleen thing.
Well, it happened right at the time, shortly after
Yeah.
my
Show it to
class
Marlene.
went through medical school, and now figure out what was
See if that's you.
when we heard the story.
Oh yeah, that's me. I think it was the way the sun.
Is that the way the sun is?
The sun and the shade was on the
After a
ice.
couple of years, 2 or 3 years, he was very well liked.
When did you get out of
62.
Okay, it was right in there?
Yeah.
62? That sounds about right. But he was a new teacher, he just graduated from college.
Right, and they worked in the truck rear end of the car. He and his girlfriend were sitting off the side of the road talking, and truck rear ended him.
Oh, you was?
That's Mary Kay. Who, is that Mary?
Well, that Mary Kay with Leland.
Williams.
Yeah. Mary Kay Human. This is Mary Kay Human. And this is Marlene. Better known, AKA Sue. No, she refers Sue nowadays. Is that right?
That is correct. Yes, it is.
I can't get used to that. I can't get used to that. You're old.
So I would make sure I find a place for it, so I thought I'd save you this.
The jumbo duct tape book.
That's quite a book, I bet you.
It's got
You can
everything.
make anything out of that.
I'm sure that's true.
Anything. Purses, anything. Purses, yeah. Women's purses, you can make a women's purse out of duct tape.
Just what we need.
Maybe like spring fashion.
Oh, yes. I saw some, a purse up in Omaha here last weekend that was made out of bungee cord.
This one's.
He took the black bungee cords and
Made what?
made purses for women to carry around. This looking thing, everything you like.
But they're just,
A whole bunch of them wrapped around or something.
Well, they were, yeah, threaded in between, all made out of rubber.
Woven, like, or
Yeah.
it could expand.
Well, yeah, it is. Made out of.
Go.
Hey, who's this?
Okay. The way the leaves are.
Okay. Yeah, did you see that there picture? That was right before she died. I went down to see her.
Yeah, I remember that.
You went down to see her?
Yeah, there's a picture in here of, when I was down there, I went down, I think in March. when she passed
What
away.
year was that?
What year was that, Shorty, do you remember? Really no.
I just looked at the old bit.
They built this great big cancer. Great big cancer.
What year is that? What year is that?
This annual is 1942.
You know,
That shows a roller skating, and the girls are in dresses.
we're gonna wrap it up. I just wanna see if anyone, come on in.
Sorry we're late.
That's all right.
There's pizza. Yes, I think there's pizza and some cake and ice cream or whatever.
Hello.
Kelly's here, right? Boy, youngest boy.
Can I get you guys here some pizza?
You
Here's
got
some
pizza
plates.
left over?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, was I sitting at the table last night with you?
Oh, no.
I never seen, I saw him there.
Oh, yeah, but that's
I figured
okay.
you probably.
I'm absolutely sure.
Arnold, come quick.
Nancy, she's the youngest one, Nancy. Okay, her husband,
Here's a.
well, they introduced
Portion and then-
my now husband, Ken's brother, my sister, and I are married brothers.
Oh, your brother.
We better make sure we get Bob in here. He's always a camera guy, and then he looks at the pictures and he's never in any of them. Archie, is there anything you want to say? While you're on candid camera?
How much time do you have?
Oh, we got a lot of time. A lot of time.
Yeah, where you get your
I thought we
candy,
might
that's right. We all make
have a
sure
little
we're
something from
candy.
the
That's it.
Church of 24/7.
That's it. We're through. That's it.
You're wearing socks with your name on. My dog.
Yes, yes.
That was you. It was supposed to be me, but I fouled out before I stepped.
Gone, there you go. You're short.
Lady good.
Baby Ruth's.
Wow.
And I've been trucking the whole time.
Trucking?
Sold them.
It was all, my
Roll.
brother there and.
Okay. You're talking about 16-wheeler? 18-wheeler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a big refrigerator carrier in Dallas.
Beforehand.
Stevens Transport.
And
Okay.
Barbara always coming back and forth here. And
I started out driving to Jim Schwartz here.
Say,
Okay.
Like